Did you know that you have a powerful shadow government ready to give you assistance on earth? It's your royal bloodline. Vicky Dillard here, aka Goddess Guru. I'm doing it again. Your Ancestors Webinar Part 3. This time, we're going to be discussing both your terrestrial and celestial lineage. Go to my website today, onpurposewithvicky.com. This is for the whole wide world.
So Sister Sheilah Coley was selected to lead the New Jersey Police Department in April 2019, and city officials touted her qualifications and said she understood how to make changes in the department. But Coley was extremely qualified, Trenton Mayor Reed Gusciora said in a news release. He said she had extended career in the military and had held every rank in the Newark Police Department, including serving as police chief and police director. It said before she was hired as Trenton's police director. However, Gusciora fired Coley, it said, in June 2021, saying that his administration decided to move in another direction. Now, Coley alleged that she was fired because of her race and sex and her refusal to keep corrupt police officers in the department. I believe that. I believe that wholeheartedly with them. It says city officials have denied the claims that she is suing the mayor and other city officials for firing her as retaliation for not complying with unethical behavior. Defendants repeatedly pressured Coley to capitulate to the racist and sexist refusal of white police union leadership and white members of the police department to accept the leadership of a black American woman. Now, the sister was the first black woman to hold the position overseeing the department. However, the lawsuit state that the mayor and the councilman, George Muschal, let's say a former cop, asserted themselves as shadow figureheads over the department. They demanded, it said, that she give unmerited and preferential treatment of white members of the force. That's standard operating procedure. See, when people have told me over the years, well, Phil, you know, we got to get in those positions and we got to try to change it from within. No. I've talked to many black police officers over the years, and all of them have told me that you will not change that system. That system is so, iron, clad, you can't do nothing about it. If you are basically a decent cop, you can't be in it that long, especially black police officers. Many have told me I had to walk away from it instead because I saw how dirty it is. We saw all these white supremacists in here. I've been told that by many, many police officers in our community. Now, say Coley's protest and refusal to participate in preferential treatment of white individuals were made reasonably and in good faith, according to the lawsuit. Now, said Trenton officials in response to her lawsuit said on June the 10th she was removed from her position because of her performance and no other external factors. Said city council members upheld the decision to remove her by a 6-1 vote on June 24th, 2021. Now, the sister faced scrutiny in the summer of 2020 for ordering officers to stand down as rioters repeatedly looted and vandalized businesses in response to the police shooting of George Floyd in Minnesota. It said the Mercer County Prosecutor's Office launched an investigation into her actions after receiving complaints from the Latino Merchant Association and a former officer and a downtown property owner. Boy, when a black person do exactly what the white ones do, boy, everybody come out on somebody black. Like I said, black folks have to follow the letter of the law. And when we talk now, they won't talk about black and brown coalition. And look who went after her, the Latino Merchant Association. What happened to that black and brown coalition? There is no black and brown coalition. That's the biggest finesse and the biggest lie ever when it comes to things. Latinos look out for themselves politically. They don't look in business. They look out for themselves. There's no coalition. That black and brown coalition thing was black folks, black leaders saying, oh, well, hey, they melanated people like we are. They deal with some discrimination. But that's not how that particular group think in a collective sense. Because if you study their countries, they have hella white supremacy in Latin America. If you are a dark-skinned Latino, you're treated horribly. If you're a black one, you're treated horribly. If you're white looking with colored eyes, you're treated the best. It's the same old thing in Latin America too. That's why I always look at black people like, oh, I'm going to move to Mexico. I'm like, you moving to Mexico? Do you talk to the people that live there? I don't understand how black people go live in Mexico. I'm still trying to figure that one out. Black people run to go live in Mexico, talking about, oh, well, it's better over there in Mexico than it is in the United States. I'm like, do you really know what's going on down there? They got Mexicans that don't even want to be in Mexico because of what's going on down there with the freaking cartel. But y'all gonna find out the hard way about that one. Anyway, so they said the ex-officer said Coley's decision to put lives at risk, and the store owner said he was left with $300,000 worth of damages as a result. Prosecutor, however, cleared her of any wrongdoing and closed the case. Now, the lawsuit also alleged a white captain gave a similar command, but didn't face any backlash. Of course he's not going to face any backlash. He's white. You're black. See how that works? Coley claims, they say she was given, a laundry list of favors from Miss Childs, which was passed on to her by the mayor. Gusciora told Coley that Miss Child voted with him 40% of the time, and he wanted Coley to give Miss Child whatever he wanted. The lawsuit also says that the sister blocked a white male supervisor from allowing a white male supervising detective who was found guilty of perjury in a federal court from returning to the job. The mayor undermined her and approved the detective for active duty. The suit also alleged that Muschamp gave a radio interview where he blasted Coley for taking money away from 12 white men. It said the officers on restricted duty due to the involvement of an in-custody deaths. See, like I said, and you wonder why, like I said, listen, this system is so wicked and corrupt, folks, it can't be reformed. It can't be reformed. You have a black woman trying to do the right thing, and these white supremacists, because that's what they are, these white supremacists were just attacking her. You cannot change that system from within. I told black people, this place is not going to be reformed. And I know a lot of you, about 2/3 of you, think that, well, if they just treat me just a little bit better on the plantation, it'll be, so much better. But that's just not what's going to happen. Now, June 7, 2021, 2 days before Gusciora announced the sister's termination, the complaint says he tried to force the sister's chief of staff to leak department documents to the press illegally. Now, the sister feigned off the mayor's demand. She said, I may be too honest for this position, she said to the mayor in a text message. The suit said by publicly announcing, it said the sister's immediate termination. It said the mayor illegally deprived her of meaningful notice and opportunity to be heard. During the city council session vote on the sister's firing, one council member referred to it as the lynching of the first black American woman in the city of Trenton. It said a council member also predicted that the white captains were going to roll back progress made underneath the sister, according to the lawsuit. Now, they said after she was fired, it said the city alleged, it said that they were reversing several of her orders. It said it dropped the internal affairs investigation and rewarded the detective who lied under oath. The sisters can seek compensation for loss of pay, damage to her career and reputation, emotional distress, and humiliation. The lawsuit calls for the city to implement policies, procedures, and training to prevent future discrimination and retaliation in the department. This is going on in the police department, folks. Now, we got a lot of black people in Trenton, New Jersey, and this is what's going on in your police department, right? Once again, you cannot reform this. No one is going to reform it. This is how white supremacy works. That is the system working exactly how it was designed. Corruption, racism, white supremacy. We said many, many times before, if you're white in this country, you have an immunity of law. If you're black, you got to follow the letter of the law. That's why I say I don't believe that it's for me or a lot of you to live like that for the rest of your freaking life. Now, some black people have normalized suffering. They think it's a badge of honor to suffer. But those of you who don't believe it's a badge of honor to suffer, then you have to do other things. Because I'm telling you, I've been doing this a whole decade and nothing has changed. Actually, it's gotten progressively worse than what it was even 10 years ago when I started doing this. So I've seen too many stories. I've seen too many black people die in 10 years. I've never, witnessed this many people dying in 10 years and being discriminated against, and black officers being treated horribly. Do the exact same thing as the white ones, but they go to prison, and the white ones, they go home and get their nasty ham sandwich. Black police chiefs trying to do something good, and they get railroaded. Seen it many times over the years. So this, like I said, this doesn't surprise me. That's why I tell you, It is futile if you think you're going to reform this place. It's futile if you think you're going to reform white supremacy. It ain't happening because it's not meant to. But, you know, if you want to keep on peeing in the wind, do you. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this particular story. Like I said, it's just one of many I've covered over the years. Hey family, make sure you join us on the new and improved AfricanDiasporaNews.org. Now it is our uncensored and raw truth website. We have to make sure to have our own website because on social media platforms, they do have rules, and at any time they could change a rule and shut a whole genre down. Now that would not happen to us because on AfricanDiasporaNews.org, we can speak the truth. We don't have to hold back. So make sure you join our website today.